It's your boy TyDeBo here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be doing a squad builder if you had 100,000 MT, which I've got to clarify, guys. 100,000 MT for a 10-guy squad still isn't a ton, but by the time you add, let's say, a player from these, I'm going to call them James Harden packs because I pulled 3 and got all James Harden, or you add Rick Smith, somebody like that, then you can, spend your MT elsewhere. So just did want to clarify that for you guys. Any type of free card you can get, the better your team is going to be. Now, we're going to start it off at the point guard position. You guys might not like this, but we're going to plug in point guard J.R. Smith. Now, when you search for J.R. Smith, you got to do it this way. Dark Matter, Endgame Nuggets, and then go for the cheapest, because obviously Jokic is going to pop up in this filter as well. But the guy we're really looking at is J.R. Smith. The cheapest endgame right now in my team, which don't ask me why he's cheaper than D-Wade. I don't know or really care because it helps us and works in our favor. I don't know why he's 12,000 MT. I've used J.R. Smith before, and I've absolutely cooked with this card. All of the endgame 6, 99 everything. He's 6'6", so he's going to play decent defense. There's really no flaws with this J.R. Smith card. Trust me, I would tell you guys if there was. I've used him. I've had a lot of success with him. For 12,000 MT, it's tough to beat J.R. Smith. Shooting guard position, I'd love to plug in Paul George, okay? And so I'm going to show you guys the price of PG-13 right now. The problem is he's just a little too expensive. Right now, right at that 25,000 MT mark. And so since we've got to save a little bit of MT, we're going to plug in Scottie Pippen instead, who is basically a similar version of Paul George, just not quite as tall and maybe has a little longer model player build. But I like both of these cards. I've actually used Scottie Pippen a decent amount and had a lot of success with him. Right now on this Xbox account, he is my backup shooting guard. 6'8", 210 pounds, 99 everything. He is right now, as it stands, my second favorite shooting guard in my team behind Paul George. And so the fact of the matter is he's 14,000 MT. You can get an endgame backcourt for nearly 25,000 MT with J.R. Smith and Scottie Pippen. That is tough to beat. Now, if you have an endgame backcourt, neither one of them are super tall. You need to find a way to get height in your lineup. And that's why I'm a headliner or going with Dark Matter Bull 10,000 MT. And here's the deal, guys. You can find one with a nice shoe, couple extra Hall of Famers, do it, okay? 7'2", good 3-ball, really solid defensively. Sure, his defensive stats don't necessarily look that good, look that elite. But the one thing about Bobo that you guys gotta realize is the best part about the card is he is 7'2". Everything else takes care of itself. His release, not the best. His stats, not the best. His badges, not the best. But if you're 7'2", that takes care of a lot of things by itself. Again, Bobo is a card I've used on the No Money Spent Squad series recently, and again, I don't mind him at all. I'm actually a really big fan of what he can provide for you guys. At the power forward position, this is the maybe best budget card in the entire game. Kristaps Porzingis. He's 7'3". He's got a good release. His movement isn't even that bad. The only thing about it is, sure, he's not going to move as well as the endgame Invincible, but everything else is fine. So he's very similar to Bobo in the fact that he's tall, lengthy, has basically the same release. Don't look too deep into his stats. Don't look too deep into his badges, because if you do that, you're going to miss the point of Kristaps Porzingis. He's long, he's lengthy, he can play lanes, he can knock down shots for you. And at the power forward position, especially when you've got a backcourt of J.R. Smith and Scottie Pippen, you don't need a guy like Wemby that can be your primary ball handler. You just need a guy that can go out there, hold it down in green wide opens. That's exactly what KP and Bobo both are going to do for you guys at that small forward and power forward position. KP for 6,000 MT is tough to beat. And at the center position, for just over 10,000 MT, we're plugging in Dark Matter Yao Ming. Now, the reason, I guess he's for 14,000 MT. This one's got 38 Hall of Famers for 14,000 MT. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna buy him and resell him for more. 38 Hall of Famers. You don't think I can get 19,000 MT out of Yao? Because I certainly do with 38 Hall of Famers. That's just my opinion. If you can get a 38 Hall for Yao for under 20,000 MT, I would do it in a heartbeat. But here's the deal for Yao. He's 7'6". he's going to be able to compete against all of the end games, all of the invincibles. And after that, what else do you honestly need? He's Yao Ming. He's 7'6". Everything else is icing on the cake. You don't need him to do anything else for you. He's going to knock down shots, going to play good defense. If he does those two things, you can't ask for too much more to Yao Ming. And again, if you can get one with 38 Hall of Famers, get one with 40 Hall of Famers, I would definitely be willing to pay that extra premium on top. Who knows if mine sells, because it does look like there's a lot of souped ones up, but definitely worth your time and energy in my team. Heading to the bench unit, we're plugging in a bench endgame point guard in Lonzo Ball. Should be no surprise here. Very similar to J.R. Smith and similar in price. Two of the cheapest endgame point guards in my team. Now, what I personally would do if I'm you guys, I don't want Dwayne Wade on this squad, but any other end games, like if it's Dr. J, that's fine. Any other end games that are 6'6" and above, go ahead and go for it. So let's say you're sitting on this cheapest end game filter, right? And you see like I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out a name. Anybody but Wade. Don't get D Wade. But anybody else, go ahead and get, man. D Wade's obviously the worst dark matter auctionable in the entire game. But whether it's JR, whether it's Dr. J, any of those 6'6" guys, go for it. Lonzo Ball, gonna give you good defense, good player bottle, player build. A guy that you can just trust at that point guard position. Shooting guard position, this one should be obvious for you guys. Dark matter Radiant T-Mac. Now, similar to Yao, I would be willing to pay a little bit more for one with, let's say, 40 Hall of Famers than just a base T-Mac. So something to keep your eye on if you are looking at getting a Radiant T-Mac, adding him to your squad. Try to get one with, whether it is 35 Hall of Famers, whatever the case may be. 5,000 MT, good release, 6'8", can play lanes. He's not an invincible. He's not an endgame. I'm not going to sit here and gas that, but he's going to knock down shots. You should never miss with the card. And having a reliable guy like that on the court is invaluable in my opinion. Small forward position, we're plugging in Jonathan Bender. I hope he's still cheap because I guess I haven't even looked at the price of Bender recently. Does look like his price has went up a decent amount. Now, still relatively cheap in the grand scheme of things. He's just not 4,000 MT anymore, more like 7,000 MT. I guess never mind. There's one for 4,900 that, I'd probably pick up. And for me, hey, you guys can hate on me all you want. When I do my squad builders, am going to make MT where I can. So got him for what, 45, whatever. Gonna put him up for 63, and he's gonna sell. So that's my whole thing. When I'm making squad builders, I am trying to make a little MT as we do go through it. Here's the deal with Jonathan Bender. 40 Hall of Famers. He's not gonna be your primary boiler, but if you run him at the small forward position, he doesn't need to be. Good release, good movement, plays good defense. What else do you need out of Jonathan Bender in general? I don't think you need anything else. He is going to be a dang near perfect card in my team. At the power forward position, this is one I struggle with. I ended up going with Anderson Varejao. I struggled a lot with this because I'm like, I don't really like any power forwards. And I ended up settling with Anderson Varejao because here's the deal. He's a card you can throw out there and can trust him on the court, man. He's going to knock down shots, play decent enough defense. And after that, man, that's all you can do. I don't think Tim Duncan is bad for his specific price. So if you can get Tim Duncan for, 15,000 MT endgame, Tim Duncan is a really solid option. But if you have to really ball on a budget, Anderson Varejao is the guy I'd go with. Season 8 card, still really solid again. His upper is smooth, can green basically every shot you take with him. Just a solid guy you can trust on the court. And at the center position, again, we got to ball on a budget. We only have 100,000 MT to work with. And so I went with Mark Eaton. I'm not even talking about the invincible Mark Eaton. He's too expensive. I'm talking about the base dark matter Mark Eaton. Now, again, I wouldn't spend this much on him. Try to get him for a little bit cheaper. But if you can get this card right here, this is perfect. 44 Hall of Famers. That's the card I'm looking at. Not the base one. You can get one with 44 Hall of Famers. Do it, because then he has basically every Hall of Fame badge in the entire game. He already comes with a diamond shoe. Then you're looking at a guy at 7'4". He's going to go out there and compete. Now, obviously, look through his badges. Make sure he's got the ones you want him to have. But if he does, do what you got to do. Even this 43 Hoffer. Figure out which one you like more between the two. For 15,000 MT, you're looking at a center that's fully badged. Do what you got to do. Another guy you could look at picking up if you wanted to, Ralph Sampson, 7'4", again, similar to Mark Eaton. If you can get one really souped, definitely do it. He was 10,000 MT. The only other honorable mention I kind of want to throw out here, because I still do like the card, Arvidas Sabonis hero card, or even this one if he has some extra Hall of Famers. Again, not worth 15,000 MT. I'd get Mark Eaton instead. But just another guy I wanted to throw out for you guys. And if they're 15,000 MT, screw it, man. Go get the endgame Tim Duncan for that price over those guys and just play small ball or run your Yao the entire game. That's going to wrap it up for my video today, guys. Hopefully each and every guys did enjoy it. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.